Hello YouTube, this is Cyber Aquarius, and the 150 gallon is finally set up. It's really cloudy. Set it up Saturday morning, and the crushed coral is the substrate that I chose to go with. I rinsed 120 pounds of the crushed coral. I rinsed it over and over and over and over and over again, and when I first started rinsing it, it looked like milk. And after probably 40 rinsings per bucket, it came somewhat clean. And anyway, I just got to let the tank clear up. It's been a couple days. It's been set up since Saturday. Well, this all started with finding this piece of driftwood back in September. Found this in my trophy driftwood series. You'll see this piece of driftwood, and I decided to set up a 150 gallon African cichlid aquarium themed after this piece of driftwood. I'm gonna go over everything just briefly. The main thing is the canopy. Most of you that have been watching this series haven't really got to see how that functions yet, but based around this piece of driftwood, to me it looks prehistoric, like something right from the Jurassic period. So that's sort of the theme that I was going with this aquarium. I chose the lace rock, and the plants that I chose, it's hard for me to believe that I've actually used, that I am using artificial plants in this setup. I've been a aqua gardener for the past 17 years, but this aquarium is basically for the fish and decorations, and I've actually made these plants myself. I didn't buy any of these except for two of them. Two of them were purchased from an online aquarium supplier. The others I made myself. I went to a hobby shop and I chose the plants that I thought looked to be from a Jurassic period, and I cut like this type of plant here. I don't know what it is, but to me it looks sort of like a palm leaf. That one too. And I cut a piece of lace rock with a carbon random saw and inserted some of the branches into the lace rock and siliconed them. This fern up here, to me that looks like something that would be from the Jurassic period. And that's the theme I'm going with. I've kept aquatic gardens for years and years and years, and I used Anubias nana in the 75 gallon, and my Mabunas would eat on the leaves. So I just chose to go all artificial here. The tank is real cloudy, like I said. It'll clear up over a few days. I used 6 boxes of lace rock, somewhere around 210 pounds to 260 pounds. I used every bit of it except for 5 pieces. Anyway, this aquarium, the way I stack the rock, the fish can hide back behind it. In fact, the first day that I put them in here, they went back behind the rock and you couldn't even see them. I've got it stacked in such a way that there are multiple caves. There's a cave there, back behind all the rock. The fish can go back there. There's another cave. There are multiple caves, and a lot of people have said that the taller aquariums, the African cichlids, only swim around the bottom. That's not true. The way I've stacked the rock, I've come in here and seen the fish swimming all around the top. They like hanging around the top. Right now, I just put the canopy on, so they're freaked out. But the canopy, the way I designed this, let me step back a minute. I wanted the doors of the stand to line up. Let me turn on this other light. But the doors on the stand, like I said, they don't have any trim work on them. So I did the doors on the canopy the same way. And if you step back and look, It's all one line. The doors line up perfectly. And this canopy is a flip up design because of my LED lights. My LED lights are hanging from the back wall. I made these two brackets. It's actually two poplar blocks that I cut down. The back block is secured to the sheetrock with 4 75-pound drywall anchors. So I got a total support of 300-pound capability with each of these brackets. And then the block on top of the block that's mounted to the sheetrock, the actual rod or the hanger is screwed through that block into the other block. And it took quite a bit of math to figure out how to get this thing exactly 73.5 inches above the aquarium. I mean, from the floor to the bottom of the light is 73.5 inches, and that's exactly how tall the top of this canopy is, 73.5 inches. So if you step back, I'm going to hold the camera up here, the bottom of the light is flush with the top of the canopy. Unless you're 6'5" or 6", you're not going to see any light scatter. And I painted the inside white, so for future use it could be used with fluorescence, and the fluorescent bulbs would reflect off of the white. This is mildew resistant, high gloss white, and the LEDs don't really need the white canopy on the inside, but I figured I'd go ahead and do it now. Plus I figured, when I'm working on the aquarium, it'll be a little bit easier to see things. Alright, well, the dowel rod in the back, I put that in there for my splash guard and my anti-jump guard. That's a polypropylene sheet of plastic that I cut around my overflow box, the center brace, the return tube, or the return nozzles. They fit over that, so if the fish decide to jump, which they shouldn't, fish usually when they jump, they'll go up the side of the glass and jump out the side, but the rock in the back will prevent them from doing that. And plus, since this aquarium is so tall, usually the taller aquariums, you don't have a problem with jumpers, but just an extra insurance, I put that polypropylene plastic back there. And also I made a bracket here for my Eheim everyday fish feeder. That's not mounted right now. I'm going to use Velcro to mount it, but if I go off on vacation, go to the beach or whatever, I can set that right there. I don't have to screw it to anything. It's sitting right there, and I might use it a little bit from time to time, but I like to feed my fish myself. But to show you how this canopy functions, so I can do my maintenance, it's a flip top design. I'm going to go ahead and flip it up. So let me stop the video so I can use both hands. Alright, the way I designed the canopy was so that I could flip it up and it would still stay on the rim of the aquarium, and I can do my maintenance. I could probably do it with one hand, but I'm not going to take a chance. You notice most canopies will have support blocks, like 1x1s down the side resting on the rim of the aquarium. But the way I built this, the entire side is actually what sits on the rim here, and I rounded the back edge so that it would rotate freely, and the trim is actually what holds it on to the aquarium from the front and the sides. That way the side of the canopy lines up with the side of the stand, and so does the trim. It wouldn't stick out. If I would have used the 1x1 support blocks and then put a piece of plywood on the side and then trim, it would have been sticking out, and to me aesthetically that just didn't look good. So I did it this way. This canopy is made out of birch, and I've used Kreg joints in the corner for added stability. And you see the doors, they're not going anywhere. Once I get the soft shut doors, they'll be even more secure and more stable. But the way I had to design this, I had to make sure that it would clear the bracket for my light. And the aquarium is 24 inches from front to back. The trim is 25 1/8. So I had to go a little further with the back trim. I made this piece of back trim here so that whenever I flipped it up, this is 25 1/4 or 25 1/8 from the top down to here. So I had to add an extra 1/4 of an inch to bite the lip of the tank trim so it wouldn't go anywhere. So I can do my maintenance, and then when I'm done, reach up and fold it back. I'm gonna go ahead and do that again at this time, close the canopy, and then we'll go over a couple more things. All right, another thing that I did with the design of this canopy, I left the trim showing. There's 3/8 of an inch covered and the rest is showing. The reason I did that is because the stand, which I didn't build, came with the aquarium. The trim is showing on the aquarium where the stand meets, and I thought it would be more uniform to have that showing as well. And to me it looks better. I mean, some people might not like it, but I actually like that better because it's more uniform. And whenever the wood comes all the way down to the bottom, I don't know, it just seems like you're losing some of the height of your aquarium. So I like it. Maybe some of you don't, but that's the way I designed it, and just gonna go with that. All right, a couple more things about the filtration. We'll really haven't added anything since my Marine Pure video, but under the canopy, see how it's dark? So what I did, I installed two 14-inch fluorescent lights so that I can see what's going on. I've got the auto top off running. I gotta make some more deionized water to fill that up. So the auto top off is on. Right now I'm using Seachem's Matrix Carbon. I'm going to use Purigen after a while. We'll give it a few days for the tank to clear up, and then I'm going to add Purigen. Let's see, I added another power strip in the back so that my two 14-inch fluorescent lights would have a plug-in of their own, and lighting, the LED lights are plugged in there, and I have an additional 5 outlets if I ever wanted to add something else. The temperature of the aquarium is 79 degrees. The Via Aqua titanium heaters are doing a great job of maintaining the temperature. And I'm using Seachem Stability for the first 8 days, until the aquarium has cycled. Of course, I've used Seachem's Prime when first filling it up to remove chlorine and chloramine. That's about it, but it will clear up over the next week or so. It's just suspended sand that was, in the crushed coral, and it should clear up in a few days, maybe a couple weeks at the most. I'm going to give you another shot of the aquarium. Let me turn off the lights here. I know it's real cloudy, so just bear with me. I'll put some more videos up once this thing clears up. But you can see this is my favorite spot, and the fish have plenty of room to swim. I mean, there's probably 2/3 of the aquarium is open water, and then the back third is lace rock, the driftwood in the center, not in the center, but just to the right of center. I find that it's better to place your centerpiece not right in the middle, unless you're doing a mound aquascape, but just to the right or left of center. It gives it a more natural appearance. I'm also going to remove my algae scraper. I won't leave that in there all the time, but I was just cleaning the glass because it was, as the water filled up, it was leaving stuff on the sides. I got nice little area back here, some caves. This is one of the store-bought aquarium plants, or online aquarium store-bought plants. The fern, I thought it looked prehistoric. Don't have to worry about the fish eating it. I would like to have had one more piece of lace rock to go from that piece up to here, kind of like an arc. I'll keep my eyes out for one. But like I said, the fish, they swim at all levels. They're freaked out right now. You can see the depth of this aquarium from front to back. The fish, I mean, it just gives so much more depth to the aquarium, seeing them go all the way to the back and then come out in the front. I mean, the amount of swimming room that they have is just enormous. Well guys, I hope you like it. This thing's only going to get better when it clears up. I don't know if you can see the shimmer effect of the LEDs, but man, it is awesome. Especially since I raised the light like it needs to be. It really increased on the shimmer effect. And we'll see how it looks once it's cleared up. So guys, like, comment, subscribe, or dislike if you want, but really hope everybody likes it. I sure as heck do. I mean, it took 4 months for me to get this thing set up, and all the planning and detail that went into it has paid off. I mean, I didn't have to make one correction. You know, just the crushed coral was the only thing that really set me back. Rinsing it and rinsing it and rinsing it over and over and over. I mean, I don't know any other way to have done it. I thought about using a strainer, but then you would lose some of the more particulate pieces. You know, the smaller diameter pieces would have fallen through. So I guess it just, you know, had to be patient, which I think I spent 4 hours rinsing the crushed coral, and it still came out like this. Alright guys, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, dislike, whatever, and we'll go from here, putting some fish in this bad boy. Any suggestions as to what I should put in here? I think my first fish will be a Venustus. I've always liked them, and to me they look sort of prehistoric. So this tank will be a mixture of Malawis, the Mbunas that I have now. There's currently 11 in here, which, like I said, there's so many hiding spaces that, I mean, you don't really see them all. They have so many places to go. But we'll have peacocks and haps and Mbunas mixed in. We'll see how aggression goes, but with this amount of hiding space and open room to swim, everything should go okay. Oh, and the pH is 8.2, carbonate hardness is 11 degrees, general hardness is at 12 degrees, temperature is at 79. I'll probably back off of it just a little bit to 78. But alright guys, this is Cyber Aquarist saying have a good day.